Welcome back. So, will he be arrested or not? Well, today is the deadline that's been set by the Constitutional Court for the arrest of former President Jacob Zuma. Police Minister Bheki Cele has until midnight to execute that Constitutional Court order. Let's look at the legalities now with Dan Mafora, who's with the Council for the Advancement of the South African Constitution. Dan, thanks for making time once again, man. So the clock is ticking. There is nothing stopping the police minister from effecting this arrest. Maybe he's waiting to hear from the Constitutional Court to get clarity that he's seeking. But legally, as it stands now, what is he expected and obliged to do?
Thanks for having me, Clement. I think what you just said is spot on. As far as the law is concerned, that order must be carried out today because the deadline, as you said, is midnight. And so the minister is under the obligation, the minister and the National Commissioner are under the obligation to make sure that Mr. Zuma is present at a correctional facility by the end of today.
Yeah.
Whether or not they should wait for clarity from the Constitutional Court is a different question. What we do know is that the court doesn't correspond with litigants, and so the fact that they sent a letter to the court really means nothing insofar as receiving further instruction. So as things stand right now, the order that was given on Tuesday must be carried out by the end of today.
Yeah, but isn't it also weird then that, I mean, even in that letter that they sent, they're claiming now that they were seeking clarity, but when you go through that letter, you see that what they were effectively doing is tell the court what they are going to do. So they were informing the Constitutional Court that they are going to put in abeyance the action that is expected from them because of the Constitutional Court order that was released. That sounded very bizarre because you're telling the Constitutional Court that you won't be doing what they told you to do.
Absolutely, that's correct. And you will see in the letter they say that they are very clear about what the effect of a rescission order or a rescission application is, and that it doesn't suspend the operation of an order. And so they accept that, and yet they say, in light of the fact and the complex legal issues that arise here, they will then not do what the Constitutional Court asked them to do unless it asks them or unless it gives further direction, which made no sense because they obviously accepted that that order was binding on them and that they had to carry it out, hence the need to write a letter to the Constitutional Court to set out basically that they would not obey the court's order. And so it is a strange kind of situation and perhaps a kind of distancing of the minister from any kind of accusation of failure to carry the order out, where the police not to arrest him by the end of the day.
So we listened to the arguments yesterday in the Pietermaritzburg High Court. Judgment is only on Friday. Advocate Thembeka Ncukaitobi indicated that Zuma had an option of alternative remedy, which is to approach the Constitutional Court because the court can suspend the enforcement of its own orders. They could have filed papers this morning on an urgent basis, but it doesn't look like Advocate Dalimpofu was convinced.
That's correct, which was a very strange choice to, like I said last week, to split the legal action in this way, to seek a stay of the order at a lower court and seek the rescission at the Constitutional Court itself. What was quite clear yesterday from the argument, I think, was that the court, Judge Nguni, was not convinced by the argument that he had the jurisdiction to actually stay the order, and hence his persistent questioning about why Mr. Zuma chose not to approach the Constitutional Court. Mr. Mpofu's answer to that argument was simply that just because there was alternative avenues for relief didn't mean that took away the jurisdiction of the High Court. And obviously there's some that argument would normally be true in the case of a of a High Court order where the same High Court was approached for relief. But this is an order of a higher court and an order that binds the lower court. And so that, I think the general impression that I got from yesterday's argument was that the judge was not convinced that there was jurisdiction for him to actually stay the implementation of that order.
So the clock is ticking then, and we know the former president often, and I think has witnessed, even with this case, at the last minute will try find other options to get out of the situation. Are there any legal options available for the former president to avoid arrest? Doesn't look like that from where I'm looking, but you understand these things much better than I do.
Well, from where I'm sitting as well, I don't see a way out of it unless, like you said, an urgent application was to be brought to the Constitutional Court. But that is already taken care of by the fact that the order of the High Court is only going to be out on Friday, well beyond the deadline of midnight tonight. And so from where I'm sitting, I don't see an option out of it. I don't see a way out. Yeah, but we never know. Mr. Zuma has certainly shown some creativity in his legal strategy in the past, and wouldn't be surprised if something new came out of this.
Let's wait and see what happens. Dan, thank you so much for making time, man. Dan Mafora is with the Council for the Advancement of the South African Constitution.